Violet Sorrengail approaches her mother's office on conscription day, the day on which all 20-year-olds across Navarre must select their branch of military service. Although Violet's late father initially trained her for the scribe quadrant, her mother, General Sorrengail, orders her to enter the rider quadrant, in which Violet will spend the next 3 years fighting for her life against her fellow cadets as she prepares to become a dragon rider.
Violet, you will enter the rider quadrant. This is not up for debate.
Mother, you can't be serious. Violet's low prospects are obvious. She was frail and small since infancy.
My decision stands, Mira. Brennan knew the risks, and so does Violet. She must rise to the challenge just like he did.
All right, Violet, let's get you ready for Basgaith War College. Here, take this corset. It's lined with dragon scales to protect you from injury.
Mira then helps Violet prepare to enter the Basgaith War College and gives her a corset lined with dragon scales to protect her from injury.
Violet, you should really seek out Dain Atos. He's our childhood friend, remember?
Mira also advises Violet to seek out Dain Atos, their childhood friend.
And Violet, be careful. Avoid anyone with a tattoo marking them as the child of a rebel. You know, all those kids are forced into the rider quadrant on conscription day. It's a punishment for their parents' past insurrection.
She warns Violet against interacting with anyone who bears a tattoo on their arm marking them as the child of a rebel. All such children are forced to enter the rider quadrant on conscription day as an institutionalized form of punishment for their parents' previous attempt at insurrection. All cadets must first cross the parapet, a narrow wall between the rider school and the rest of the college. Violet meets Xaden Rierson, the son of the leader of the rebellion who is also a high-ranking third-year cadet.
So you're Violet Sorrengail.
Although they feel an instant attraction, they loathe each other because Xaden's father killed Brennan, a crime for which Violet's mother executed Xaden's father.
I guess we're not going to be friends, are we?
Their shared history is a bitter pill to swallow, making their relationship complicated from the start. As Violet crosses the parapet, a fellow cadet named Jack tries to kill her, an action that reflects the harshly competitive nature of the War College, but she escapes his murderous attempts and is found by Dain.
You won't survive this, Violet.
Violet narrowly avoids Jack's attacks, her heart pounding as she fights for her life. Just when it seems she might not make it, she manages to escape. He urges her to join the scribes, then accepts both her and her new friend Rhiannon into the squad he oversees.
Violet, you should really consider joining the scribes. But if you insist on staying, welcome to the squad, both you and Rhiannon.
Despite his reservations, Dain can't help but support his childhood friend, knowing she has the determination to make it. At the last minute, his squad is transferred from the second wing to the fourth, putting them directly under Xaden's command.
Looks like you're under my command now. Let's see if you can handle it.
The shift in leadership adds a new layer of tension, as Violet must now navigate the challenges of being under Xaden's watchful eye. The next day begins their training.
Violet, I need to warn you. Xaden wants to kill you.
He also reveals that his connection to his dragon gives him the power to see other people's recent memories when he touches their temples. Violet stands out in class due to her superior knowledge and intellect, but continues to be a target during sparring as other cadets try to kill her, due to her physical weakness and her mother's reputation as a general. She makes a deal with Rhiannon to teach her history if Rhiannon helps her learn to spar. After initial training, the professors allow the cadets to engage in challenges, some of which become deadly. Violet uses her late brother's journal to determine her challengers' identities before the fights and poisons them to give herself the advantage. One night, while collecting ingredients, she overhears a mentorship meeting between the children of the rebels. When the gathering breaks up, Xaden calls out to her, swearing her to secrecy in exchange for a later favor.
You didn't hear anything tonight. Swear it and I'll owe you one.
Cadets are challenged to climb the Gauntlet, a vertical obstacle course meant to mimic the difficulties of riding a dragon. Squads are timed on their climbing, and the results of the challenge determine the order in which they will first be presented to dragons who are willing to bond with humans. Her squad is presented to the dragons, and several cadets are incinerated for being impertinent or rude. Among the gathered dragons is a small golden feathertail, a breed of dragon known for its refusal to bond with humans. When the event called Threshing arrives, cadets are released into a valley in the hopes of bonding with a dragon. Because there are so few dragons willing to bond, many cadets resort to murdering fellow cadets in order to improve their chances. Violet hides from Jack and his cohorts, but realizes that they intend to kill the golden dragon because of its perceived weaknesses.
There it is, the golden dragon. It's weak. Let's finish it off.
She goes to the dragon's defense and is severely injured before Xaden and his dragon Scale arrive and observe.
Look at her fighting them off. She's braver than I thought.
Violet fights off Jack and a second cadet before a rare black dragon named Tern arrives and kills the third cadet, then takes Violet back to the college. Both Tern and the golden dragon Undana give their names as Violet's bonded dragons, making her the first rider in history to have two bonds.
Diane kisses Violet.
Violet also learns that Tern is Scale's mate, which gives Xaden a vested interest in keeping Violet alive. Although Violet's physical prowess improves, she cannot remain seated on Tern during flying practice. One evening, Tern wakes Violet as 6 unbonded cadets try to kill her, and Dana uses her power to stop time until Xaden can come to her rescue.
Violet tells him that a senior cadet let the others into her room.
The next day, tension fills the air as Xaden steps forward to address the gathered students.
I accuse this cadet of treachery against our ranks.
The accusation hangs heavy, and after a swift trial, the cadet is found guilty.
For this crime, the punishment is death.
And with that, the sentence is carried out, leaving the students in stunned silence. Later, Xaden and Violet meet with their dragons seeking answers.
Violet, Andana isn't a rare breed, she's just a child.
The revelation hits hard.
We must keep her time-stopping power a secret. Until she matures, her ability is vulnerable and can be stolen.
Meanwhile, new developments come thick and fast, adding to the mounting challenges they face. Amidst the chaos, Xaden takes a decisive step to ensure Violet's safety.
Liam, I need you to act as Violet's bodyguard.
Liam, a fellow rebel's child, nods in agreement, ready to protect her at all costs. In a moment of raw emotion, driven by the intense connection of their dragons, Violet and Xaden find themselves drawn to each other.
Violet, I can't fight this anymore.
Without another word, they spontaneously kiss, their passion ignited like never before. Violet finds herself in a life-or-death struggle against Jack, a fellow cadet with dangerous intentions.
You won't get away this time, Violet.
Desperate to survive, Violet cleverly exposes Jack to an allergen, forcing him to retreat to save herself. It's the annual squad battle, and cadets are tasked with stealing something their enemies would desperately want. In a bold move, Violet's squad manages to steal General Sorengale's map of military outposts. Their daring victory earns them the coveted opportunity to shadow soldiers on the front lines. Once there, Violet reconnects with her sister, but Griffin flyers from the enemy country of Poramel attack, cutting their visit short. During a later game of Capture the Flag, Violet saves Liam from Jack's attempt to murder him. In doing so, she finally manifests her signet, the unique power she gains from being bonded to a dragon. Her signet is the ability to control lightning. She kills Jack. That night, Xaden and Violet share a deeply intimate moment.
Violet,
Afterward, Violet turns to Xaden with determination in her eyes.
What is it, Violet?
Violet insists that they will only be intimate again if Xaden confesses that he has romantic feelings toward her.
You mean you want me to say it, to admit my feelings?
Reunification Day arrives, the commemoration of the day upon which the Separatists were defeated and the rebellion overcome. The college hosts a grand celebration, filled with joy and remembrance. In a quiet moment, the two finally confess their mutual romantic attraction.
I can't deny it anymore, Violet. I have feelings for you.
Their passions reignite, leading to another intimate encounter.
Violet,
However, their moment is abruptly interrupted by the announcement of the final stage of the War Games, which is a battle simulation.
We have to go. The War Games, they're starting the final stage.
And with that, they prepare themselves for what lies ahead. Xaden leads a group of rebel children and Violet to an outpost outside of the Empire.
All right, everyone, stay close and keep quiet. We're almost there.
They move cautiously, aware of the dangers lurking around them.
This place will be our safe haven. Trust me, Violet.
Though uncertain, Violet follows, her mind racing with questions. There, they meet Griffin flyers, and Xaden admits,
I've been supplying them with weapons to fight the Venin. These beings from folklore, they forcibly take magic from the earth and corrupt it for their own gain.
His words hang heavy in the air, the gravity of the situation sinking in.
I had to make a choice, Violet. It's for the greater good.
Violet feels a mix of shock and confusion, struggling to process this revelation. Violet is heartbroken that he lied to her about his collaboration with Navarre's enemy to combat this greater enemy to humankind. She trusted him, and now that trust feels shattered. The weight of his betrayal presses down on her, leaving her feeling more alone than ever before. Violet's heart aches, torn between her loyalty to her homeland and the undeniable truth of the greater threat they face. They find a letter from the college telling them of an upcoming Venin assault. Xaden realizes that Diane read Violet's memories and informed the college that they were helping the Flyers, and this mission is meant to kill them. Although given the option to flee, the group decides to stay and fight alongside the Flyers. In the battle, Liam is killed and Violet is stabbed with a poisoned knife. She manages to ensure their victory by using her lightning abilities. The survivors take her to an abandoned fortress to heal. When she awakens after 3 days,
I swear my loyalty to you, Violet, and my devotion to helping you trust me again.
Although she resists his advances and doubts his intentions. Violet's brother Brennan, whom she thought was dead, arrives and welcomes Violet to the revolution. The novel thus ends on a cliffhanger, and the story will continue with the next book in the series, Iron Flame.